Do you live near a very restrictive state for gun laws? Are you in a very restrictive state for gun laws? Is your bug out location potentially going to get rerouted into a very restrictive state? If so, you are going to want to know these 5 guns that I recommend for bugging out in very restrictive states. These are long guns. The first firearm that I want to mention is the pump action shotgun. This gun is very limited for longer range shooting, but it is extremely effective at closer ranges. Also, the whole issue of it having a lower magazine capacity is pretty negligible because you'd be limited to 10 rounds in a lot of these states anyways with a rifle. In the number 2 spot are these 5 guns, which kind of have the same looking action on them. M1 Garand, M1 Carbine, M1A, Mini 14, Mini 30. All of these guns are very easily made compliant in a lot of very restrictive states. Usually it can be something as little as limiting it to a 10-round magazine and having no flash suppressor. It has that hunting rifle, quote unquote, profile to it. And a lot of these guns are very legal in very restrictive areas. In the number 3 spot, I'd like to give a shout out to all the cowboys that are listening to this, is the lever action. This gun has a lot of very high caliber options. Some of these guns are very dicey with reliability, so be careful. And some of them do not take just any type of ammo. They can be picky with ammo. But it is nice because a lot of them will have an under 10 shot magazine with the ability to reload it on the side loading gate, which is awesome because you don't have to drop your magazine and reload your magazine or swap your magazine. You can just continue feeding it, kind of like a pump action shotgun. In the number 4 spot, I'd like to mention bolt action rifles. These are really nice, especially the ones with a magazine. Yes, reloading one of these could be slower than using something like a lever action, but a lot of them have very high caliber options, which can go out to extremely long ranges. I would also like to point out that a lot of really nice World War surplus guns like the Enfield, Mosin Nagants are legal in a lot of restrictive areas. Oh, I forgot to mention the Mauser too. In the number 5 spot is the SKS. I did not think this gun was legal in restrictive areas until I went to a gun store in New York State and actually saw an SKS. I do not like the way you have to feed the magazine with a clip, but this gun is nice and definitely extremely, extremely reliable and has been a favorite of hillbillies for decades. In the honorable mention spot are compliant AKs and AR-15s. If your state has very minimal requirements to make an AR-15 compliant, like all you got to do is pin the stock, limit the magazine capacity to 10 rounds, and not have a flash suppressor or bayo lug, then that could be a very good choice. But if you live in a state where you have to practically disassemble the gun to reload the magazine in that AR that is permanently attached to the magazine well, or an AK-47 where you have to practically disassemble the gun to load it up, that gun might be castrated to the point that it is just not worth it to even have, and you should go with another gun on that list. Thank you for listening to this. Please, in the comment section, let me know what guns you have taken into very restrictive states and just describe the situation, how you had to carry it, why you took it there, and let us know what it's like if you do live in one of these restrictive areas so that we can laugh at you. No, I'm just kidding. Just let us know, because I'm telling you, I've been to very restrictive states and saw extremely, extremely dedicated Second Amendment gun-loving folks. Please hit like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good one.